And we start with developing news in downtown Mobile. Two of the three suspects charged in the shooting of a Mobile police officer were in the courtroom this afternoon.
Fox News reporter John Rogers joining us live outside Government Plaza. John, what happened inside that courtroom?
Well, surprisingly, Lenny's Officer Chad Wynn, the officer that was shot in the chest during this armed robbery on March 2nd, was sitting in the courtroom. He was sitting in the back with other officers in a green shirt. He never did address reporters, but he seemed in good spirits. He even kind of smiled as he was walking out. And he seemed healthy and is recovering nicely, as we're told by the district attorney. But today we saw the preliminary hearing for two of the suspects involved in this armed robbery. There are a total of three men: Kirksey Harrison, Ronald Creer, and Collier Kirksey. And today, Harrison and Kirksey had their preliminary hearing, and we learned some interesting details into what exactly happened that night. Now, we were told by investigators that these three men, they were hanging out, they were friends, and at some point they were joking about robbing the Winn-Dixie. Well, investigators say about a week or so prior to the actual crime, Collier Kirksey became serious, telling the other two men that his girlfriend was pregnant, and so he needed some money. And since he was an employee, he knew when were the best times and what were the best methods to go in and rob this store. So investigators say that night, on the Friday night of March 2nd, the night watchman left the store around 10:50. Phone records show at 10:52, Kirksey called Ronald Creer, and at 10:56, the robbery began. Two armed men, covered completely and with masks and gloves on, ran inside the store, took 5 employees and 2 managers hostage. One of those employees was Collier Kirksey. Investigators determined that Creer was with the manager at the safe trying to retrieve money when Officer Chad Wynn and other first responders went inside the store. At that point, investigators say Harrison fired a shot and hit Wynn in the chest. The two men, Harrison and Creer, started to run away, trying to exit the store, but everywhere they went, they were confronted by officers, and shots were exchanged between the suspects and the officers as they were trying to escape. Eventually, Creer was hit and fell to the ground, and Harrison soon surrendered. On the night over in the hospital, Creer told detectives that Kirksey was the ringleader, and soon Kirksey was taken into custody. Now, as for Harrison and Kirksey, they've been charged with 5 counts of attempted robbery and 1 count of armed robbery. Creer is still in the hospital awaiting his charges, and he has not been charged at this time. And for a little more background, let's take a look. On the night of March 2nd, police say 3 men took part in a bold robbery attempt, but one of them is still awaiting his charges. Officers say 19-year-old Kirksey Harrison, 18-year-old Collier Kirksey, and 21-year-old Ronald Creer planned to rob the Winn-Dixie on Government Street. Harrison and Kirksey have already been charged for the crime, but Creer is still sitting in a hospital bed. Mobile police say Creer was one of the gunmen and was injured during the shootout. After the crime, he was taken to USA Medical Center for treatment, and he's been recovering ever since. Fox 10 News attempted to contact Creer's family, but no one was available for comment. Police say there is no timeline as to when Creer will be released from the hospital. An officer says warrants have already been signed, and when Creer is released from USA Medical Center, he will face the same charges as Harrison and Kirksey. And those charges are 5 counts of attempted murder and 1 count of armed robbery. And Fox 10 News reporter Andrew Perez was in the courtroom as well, and he'll have a full report coming up at 5 o'clock and on Fox 10 News at 9. Reporting live in downtown Mobile, John Rogers, Fox 10 News.
All right, John, a lot of information to digest there. Thank you.